All right, this is Male Privilege is a Myth. Changed my mind. With Steven Crowder. I don't really like Steven Crowder, but I always watch other people that I don't really like or listen to or agree with, just so I could, understand. You know what I'm saying? Because that's me. I just like listen. But I agree with him a lot of stuff. I'm not really too much of a fan. Let's see.
So you're getting very emotional.
Because this is serious.
Yes, of course it's serious.
I'm a white privileged male.
Stop
Why
it.
do you have to kill?
Red flag off rip. Bruh, these motherfuckers be having niggas hate themselves, boy. That's why you can't really feed into that overnight activist, like, rhetoric. Because now, how you a whole man, you talking about, I'm a privileged white male, so I can't have an opinion. And I have to agree with what they say. That shit don't make no fucking sense, bro. I hate it, really. You're soft.
You're gone to kill a male rapist when that male could just not rape in the first place.
I know. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be fucking great?
Yeah.
You know why?
Wouldn't it be great if men didn't rape?
Yeah.
Who are you arguing with?
That's funny. Hold on. We gotta get to the actual... I'm skipping the intro.
Like, I've never heard of
You don't
it.
see it?
No, I don't.
You're not a white girl, bro. You're not a girl. Hey! Raise your hand if you know someone's been raped on this campus.
Yes. Raise your hand if you think rape is a horrible thing.
Oh.
See what he doing? That boy playing the long game, boy. I could tell, bro. That nigga is trying to get some pussy. He thinks if he say these things, he finna get played. It's not how it work, brother. Trust me. It's not how it work. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Watch.
Nigga think if he a champion of woman, he gonna get pussy. No. You gonna be their friend. Oh my god, that's my best friend. That's like my brother.
No, come up and debunk my bullshit.
Alright, you're bullshit.
It's always a great way to start a civil conversation. What's your name, sir?
Gregory.
Gregory.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So why the anger and profanity? That was such a civil
Let
conversation.
me answer your question. So anger, profanity, because this is an extremely sensitive topic.
Look at that nigga eyes.
And I think it's almost ironic you come like such a university that has such a problem with male privilege. And I know you guys, the last conversation was a lot about racial things, and you wanted to talk
Tell me in the comments what y'all think male privilege is.
about laws, but I want to talk about really about the practicality. So practically, I don't have a car here, so sometimes I like to go down, go to yoga. When I walk back, it's at nights. I have my headphones on. I have like a hoodie on, so I'm not aware of my surroundings, and I feel perfectly comfortable doing that. And I wasn't really conscientious of that my entire life until about a year ago. I was on the phone with my friend, and she said that she needed to get her textbook from her car, and it was like probably 11:30 at night, and she just wouldn't do it because she didn't feel comfortable. She didn't feel safe.
Sure.
And so that's something that's inherent as a male, biologically larger, and just like women, that's an inherent privilege.
So is that what you're trying to say? The biological differences that niggas is bigger and stronger. That's male privilege? Okay. It's a privilege to be generally bigger and stronger than a woman? Alright.
Inherent privilege
An
as a
inherent
male.
privilege where I can
biological
do that.
privilege.
Biologically, you're going to be larger, taller, and you can overpower a woman, and for the most part.
So you're saying that male, female is biological, first off. That's a premise
I'm
that's
saying
important
there's
to set.
both biological and societal, and there's also systemic. Systemic's going to be where it's just ingrained in a society.
Okay.
So
could you, for example, explain to me what the difference would be between a biological male versus a systemic male, to use your words?
I think what he's doing right now, he probably think this dude believe a lot of that gender identity shit, so he's trying to see if he could get them mixed up. That's funny.
I did not say there's a difference between a biological male and systemic male. I'm talking about systemic male privilege and biological.
Okay,
male
well you
privilege.
said biologically men are bigger and stronger, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I just want to make sure we agree on the premise
so let me clarify for you.
You're
Biologically, males have privilege because they are larger. Because of that, they have a certain
He not trying. He didn't really catch what he asking him. He's trying to spit out what he was trying to say.
afforded to them where they can go out and then they don't have to worry about. You had a horrible comparison earlier about how males are more vulnerable to being like to being like burglarized or whatever your thing was?
They are. People have this weird thing when they say men are trash, men are shit, men are bad, da da da. They're referring to all men as the bad men, which is really crazy because even as a man myself, going outside, there's a risk of getting assaulted, getting robbed, getting shot. You know what I'm saying? And violent crimes to men happen a lot more than actual assaults to women, which is, I'm not saying that it makes one better than the other. They're both bad, but there's the facts of the matter. It happens more to other men than what these people make you think.
No,
look it up.
No, I didn't. That wasn't what I said.
Okay, what did you say? They're more likely to be like experience violence than women are.
Can I answer?
And
No.
Not by the opposite gender though.
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, they're statistically more likely to be victims of violent crime across the board.
By which gender?
No, you just said. Do you mean gender, biologically, or systemically?
What the fuck is this systemic
You
gender?
just said there were
What is
differences
this
between
systemic gender?
biological,
You just said
societal, and systemic. I want to make sure we're talking about
systemic male
yeah,
privilege.
because
You're forgetting the privilege.
I'm forgetting the system.
That, like, bro, just answer, you know what the fuck he's saying. Answer the question, dude. Crowder, I'm talking about Crowder. Like, bro, you doing too much, caca.
Systemic privilege.
You just said
Let's
what's the difference between
assume
a biological gender and systemic gender.
Okay, well,
There's
okay,
no such thing as a systemic gender. Difference is
Okay, hold on a second.
biological gender privilege. Don't forget the privilege. It's very important.
Yeah, it's very important to remember the privilege. Yeah. Okay. Violent crime, many of them would be committed by men at large. Domestic violence is very comparable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
domestic violence would be committed on the same rate from biological women to men as men to women.
The presumption that men who are more like vulnerable to violence is by other men.
Statistically, having more being the victim of violent crime.
So what is the man? Nigga, I need to ask this question, nigga, because this dude keep fucking talking over him. Shut up, let him talk.
Statistically, also being the victim of domestic abuse.
Would you agree that those victims, those male victims, are mostly being victimized by other men?
Sure, let's go with that. Yeah.
Sure. You think that's unlikely?
No, I didn't say it's unlikely. Okay. Let's go with that.
Okay. Well, let's. Yeah. I think we can all.
You know, like, that's another thing with Steven Crowder that a lot of certain white people do. Let me not say white people, but people in general, right? People who tend to manipulate, instead of saying like yes, they purposely say sure, even though sure does mean yes, but it can kind of feel like a sure, you know what I mean? Now, not every time somebody says that doesn't mean that they're being a little bit underhanded with what they're saying, but it can come across that way. Sure, yeah, sure. With somebody like Steven Crowder, it's just because he don't want to say yes, even though it's true.
I agree on that. And then so for women, they don't have that. Biologically, we're still on the biological part.
Right.
When they're smaller, when they can be overpowered more easily, they don't have the same privilege. When they can't go running by themselves.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, because you've never let me
talking
finish
about
my
the
one sentence. You
practicality.
came in cussing at me, so I'm going to finish my sentence. And if you want to listen, that'd be great. If you don't have to. What I'm talking about here is privilege. I do not see it as a privilege having a violent crime committed against you at a multiple rate likelihood, whether it is committed by a male, but the man who is getting violently assaulted, I do not believe is more privileged than the woman who isn't. And statistically, that's the likelihood. It's not a privilege.
It is because biologically, that male who's being assaulted by another male has a better chance of defending themselves than a female who is being assaulted by a male. And that's the gender difference. We're going to talk about male.
Okay, so he's saying even though men get attacked by other men more often than women get attacked by men, a man has privilege because a man is likely to be able to defend himself compared to a woman. So that's the privilege. The male privilege of being able to survive.
Sure. We have to talk about the influence on the opposite gender. I don't give a about when you're talking about like male on male crime.
Really? I do.
This is not what it's about. If you want to talk about that,
sure
talk about crime.
So he don't care. Okay.
Talk about crime. We're talking about male privilege.
Yes.
And I'm bringing up the biological inherent differences between the genders.
I agree on that. I agree that biology determines sex and gender. Yeah.
Are less likely and less capable of defending themselves against the opposite gender.
Sure.
Okay,
Get a
let's
gun.
do a different subject.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not at all.
Yeah, I'm saying it's different subject.
Why that nigga jump like that, bro? Man, no cap, bro. You're a girl. You know that you're not as big and strong as a man. Most likely. Even though I see some big girls nowadays, boy. I see some big and tall girls nowadays. So shit, they probably pick my ass up. But yeah, that's why I always support a girl get a gun or a taser, pepper spray, either or all of those. Just some type of thing to be able to protect yourself, because you never know. You never know what might happen. Just like I support men getting a gun too, so they can protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to fight. Learn how to, be in the gym, get trained. You know what I'm saying?
Just because
I don't want.
women
The point is, you're trying to set the premise as though for some reason
I'm
women
saying
are less
this is
likely.
not-
Can
okay,
I
let me say two
respond?
things. 2 seconds. This is not about male on male crime, and this is not about access to firearms right now. I want to talk about the practical livelihood or existence of white.
Bro, what's
We
this
want to talk
about,
about
bro?
systemic privilege. We want to talk
Okay,
about
so
systemic privilege,
systemically,
and
let's
then
get away from
no, hold on a
biological.
second. You said 2 seconds. That was about 18. Okay,
ahead.
I'm going to speak
Okay,
now, and
good
I'm not
for
going
you.
to cuss at you. So the point is, we are talking about systemic privilege. No one at any point, I'm still open to it, anyone can sit down, has given me any example of a right afforded to a man not afforded to a woman. That's what we're really talking about with systemic privilege. Now we've just acknowledged, both of us, that men are statistically much more likely to be the victim of a violent crime. We're statistically much more likely to die at the workplace. Okay? Now,
Damn.
this is something that
That is true, because generally, men compared to women, who works a majority of the dangerous jobs? Who's the ones that's working on them oil rigs? Who is setting up them service towers, signal towers for phone companies and internet companies? Trust me, there ain't no women that's up there doing that shit. Maybe one for every 200 men, maybe. One for every 1,000 men, maybe. Maybe. And that's okay. That's what it is. It's okay. But you have to accept it, though.
matters to me, and perhaps not to you, and then that's okay, we can disagree. I don't believe that the man who is 70, 80% more likely to have a violent crime committed against him is privileged, whether it's committed by another man or not. Now, I would agree, maybe we could find common ground in here. What I'm talking about is, I don't want to see women victimized. As a matter of fact, most men don't. And the only way a woman would be able to defend herself against a violent crime, though statistically far less likely than that of it occurring with a man, would be a mechanical advantage in a firearm.
And you know what's so funny too? Because whenever something happens, let's say like there's an incident and it's on like social media or Twitter, whatever, where somebody comes after a girl or something like that, and then a nigga would be in the comments talking about, that's why I say girls should get a gun, girls should do this, girls should get that. And they attack the nigga for saying, or whatever account for saying that a girl should get a gun. Oh, well, men shouldn't even be doing it in the first place. Duh, bitch, duh. You can't control crazy people that's going to come and victimize people, that's going to come attack you. We can't control that. What you can control is preparation for that, right? You can't change nature. You can't change evil people that's going to do evil things. You can't change that. You can only control how you combat it, okay? Damn. Shit is so fucking backwards and dumb. I hate it.
Would you not agree?
Yeah, sure. It's sure, yeah, but this is not about guns.
See what? Yeah, sure. See what I was saying earlier? Yeah, sure. Because he didn't really want to, even though it makes sense. But that would mean he's agreeing with Crowder. He don't want to agree with Crowder.
No, it is.
No.
It's about
This is
protecting
not
women,
about
and
guns.
it's about keeping women from being victimized.
Okay, cool. That's. But men have also. But you want to talk about male privilege? So we're talking about differences between the genders. You want to talk about firearms real quick? Let's end that conversation with this. Men
That's
and
an
women do not have a
equalizer.
different accessibility to firearms.
But they don't.
Exactly.
Men and women have different accessibility to firearms.
Exactly. That's a great thing.
This has nothing to
No,
do
it
with
has
gender
no-
privileges.
There you go. There's no privilege there
What are
as
you
far as
talking
access to
about
firearms.
firearms?
What I'm talking about is wanting to have fewer. Let me boil it down in a way that.
But I'm scared about these colleges, boy. And nigga, I'm not even in college, so I used to be. But if I was around these motherfuckers, boy, they would have hated my ass because they're not making no sense. You're not listening for reason. You're not listening or arguing with logic. Like, what are you talking about, bro? You're not saying nothing. You're just saying bullshit. These are sheep. A lot of kids are sheep. Social media, TikTok, all these things, they're turning us into sheep. Save your children.
Maybe might be reductive. I would like to read far more headlines, okay, that say rapist shot dead in a ditch by a woman with a .38 special than woman raped on campus because of some concealed carry law.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't want female victims.
Headlines that have nothing to do with rapists.
I would exactly.
You know why?
how do you stop
Why
it?
do you have to
Rape
carry
is
a
illegal.
gun to kill a male rapist when that male could just not rape in the first place?
I know. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
Fucking great.
Yes.
Do you know why women
Wouldn't it be
are
great
so...
if men didn't rape?
Yeah.
Who are you arguing with? You're Don Quixote fighting windmills, man. We all agree rape is bad. You think I'm here saying rape is
they
good?
get away with it?
They don't get away
They don't
with
get
it.
fucking away with it?
No.
They get away with it on this motherfucking campus.
Really?
Yes, they fucking do.
Okay.
Yo, you seen that girl in the back? Hold on. Who is that? Has girls? Is that a teacher or something? She looked old and young at the same time. How you look old and young at the same time? Tell my shit back to my exactly. Hold on.
No.
They get away with it on this motherfucking campus.
Really?
Exactly. That man getting emotional. Okay, let's see what they talking about. Cause I don't know nothing about that campus. So hey, I believe there are cases where men will do bad things, and they'll be able to get away with it if they know somebody or someone doesn't take it as serious. I'll say that's an example of like misogyny, right? Let's say I don't know what the situation is on the campus, so this is just a made up example. But let's say somebody do something on the campus, right? Everybody knows who it is. Everybody knows who did it, right? Who did something to that girl, and they go report it, and then nothing gets done. Sometimes, let's say if it's a rich white kid whose parents got money in the schools, you know, they put some money in the professor's hands or whoever's hands that needs to be given to. You know what I'm saying? And they slap him on the wrist. There's one dude, I forgot his name, but he had to rape the girl behind a dumpster with broken bottle glass and all that shit. And he got charged. He got arrested. Everybody said, yeah, the nigga's evil. Bro, lock the nigga up. The judge let him out early as hell because his parents, this is a white dude, and his two white parents, and I think they had money, they told the judge, oh, he wouldn't be able to survive in prison. He was not built for it. And they let that nigga out, bro. Shit like that is crazy. Is that male privilege? No. Cause that got nothing to do with him being a man. Cause 9 times out of 10, shit like that don't happen. You do something, you're going to jail. If you get caught doing something, you're going to jail. Especially something like that.
Yes, they fucking do.
Okay.
My friend
give me names.
raped within the first 2 weeks of coming to the school as a freshman. She was a fucking virgin too. Milton Daniel Hall.
To be fair, too, sometimes there are situations where two consenting adults do something, and the girl changes her mind after, and then screams grape. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen often. I'm not saying that, but it does happen too. I think when with sensitive situations, like sensitive topics like grape or pretty much anything regarding a woman, if you don't automatically believe that this thing happened this way, now suddenly you're the enemy. But we don't treat anything else like that, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's just real interesting. I always advocate for just keeping your mind open and taking in all the facts and seeing what makes sense. Because if you operate on things that don't make sense, then you're destined for failure. You know what I mean?
You know what that motherfucker had to do? He had to move out of that hall.
But you had to move out of
That's
that hall.
about it.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
So this was a rape.
That's
this
how
is
they do
interesting.
it.
This is a rape. See, you're getting very emotional.
Because
okay?
this is serious.
Yes, of course it's
I'm
serious.
a white privileged male. I can go in there. I can stay in my little bubble of TCU. I don't have to turn my back.
This is another thing too, bro. It's like, hey, with a lot of these young motherfuckers, generally the overnight activist motherfuckers that care about something for a week, post something on Instagram, feel like they did something, made a difference. You can't talk to them about nothing without them getting Batman are bad. Like, bro, how are you supposed to have any type of conversation, right? And this is how you're acting. You can't even talk to you because you're fucking crying and getting loud and cussing and shit, bro. How we have any type of conversation? And these are the type of people that want to get into politics or whatever, feel like they need to have a voice. You can't even logically think about nothing, bro. That shit. Like, look at him, bro. And really, it feel like he's faking it too.
I don't have to worry about my job, my income or anything like that. I don't have to worry about getting raped.
Well, you should.
My friends do.
You should worry. You should worry about your
No,
income.
'cause-
You should worry about communicating
No,
with other.
I'm
Well,
saying I don't have to worry
let me
about
finish
it
my
because
phrase.
it's not something
You
that is
should
very
worry
vulnerable
about
for me.
You should worry about communicating with adults. You should worry about treating other people respectfully because this will affect your future employment opportunities. You first came in here and talked about how you put on your hoodie, your headphones, you don't even look around you in the periphery. That's dumb. That's stupid.
That
you
is.
should worry about your safety.
That is dumb.
That's fundamentally unintelligent. White, black, yellow, red, I don't care. It's not smart to do. It's also not smart to come in and say we should get men to stop raping, and that's going to help women.
You're my father.
I'm not your father. I'm not your father.
Why he said that for? You're not my father. You're not my father. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? Niggas soft. What? Soft that niggas.
You come in here so you're going to school somebody and cuss and yell and say you need to stop rapists.
Everyone
here wants to stop rapists. Everyone here wants to stop rapists, okay? The point is...
Why the girls ain't clapping? Look at them girls. Why the girls ain't clapping? They don't want to stop rapists? They don't want to stop rapists, huh? What's going on?
This kind of doublespeak and this kind of rhetoric and these kinds of false platitudes don't help women. Do you know what you're doing? You're victimizing actual victims of rape. There is no 1 in 5 rape statistic. When you say men get away with it, we allow men to get off scot-free with rape, it's not true, and you absolve people of personal responsibility. It leads to a worse society. It leads to a polarized campus. It leads to
1 in 5 get. That's an insane number, bitch. Everybody getting raped. I don't believe that shit.
Forbid actual rape cultures like we see across the Islamic world.
Culture in this campus.
Is there?
Yep.
Okay, and then what is the
100%.
rape culture?
This is the rape culture on TCU is brewed up by, first of all, having twice as many women. Has twice as many. It creates a different social dynamic. Greek life.
So how do you change it?
Let me continue that first example. My friend who was raped within their first 2 weeks
It's terrible.
of college here, having lost her virginity to rape.
It's terrible.
The criminal who was uncharged was
Does he have a name?
Pledge. I'm not going to release.
This
his
would go
name.
out to a lot of people.
The girl.
I would love to see him
The
charged.
girl. This is
Right,
not
so-
mine. I was.
Right, say that nigga name.
No, it's not my decision.
You know what I'm thinking? Did they not call the police?
She did not want to release his name. She doesn't want this to be a public thing.
Okay.
Don't judge her for that. So don't roll your head.
No.
Okay,
I am
so
making a judge. I am judging.
Okay. Well,
Not her. I'm judging the decision.
You're judging her victim. So it's,
No, I'm
it's
judging
not-
the
it's not
decision.
your
That's a
business,
bad decision
okay?
because you know what? That guy could go forward and rape
And
another
you-
woman. So the stupid false victim status, I don't want that guy to go out and
Blame
rape
the
somebody
school
else.
then, because she informed
Blame the school because a
She
guy
informed
raped
the
her and she
school.
didn't give the name.
She didn't want to put the name out publicly because she did not want to be.
How do we
associated.
stop a rapist if we can't charge him or get a name?
Here?
How do
Damn. I'm serious. I know it's probably like it's a sensitive thing. You know what I mean? If somebody did that to you, but if you don't do anything about it, what's stopping him from doing it again? You know what I mean? If somebody robbed my shit, boy, I'm calling the police, nigga. I'm singing, hey, help, help. I know who did it. Attacked me or took my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get my shit back. If somebody do some shit to you, you go in, take the proper steps, bro. You know what I'm saying? No matter how sensitive it is, no matter how it makes you feel, the best choice in that moment is to take care of it and get it, report it to who you got to report it to. Police, all that, whatever.
How do we stop a
Let me
rapist?
talk. I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay.
Let me.
How do we
this
stop
is
that
why
rapist
she
from
made
raping
the-
again?
She made this decision. Stopping a racist would be to put him in jail.
Yes.
To have the punishment for rape to be so significant, not just taking away a swimming scholarship and attendance at Stanford for that rapist, but at this school, she did not want to put out the name and make it a public thing because she did not want to be associated with directly. This is a small school. She puts out his name, her name gets out there. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want to be known as a victim. Let me finish. The school, no. She did want to prevent that same person or his affiliates from raping again.
Okay.
So she told the school.
Okay, so the school and police have his name, and there was
Correct.
he was charged.
He was He was moved out of because he lived in the same hall as her, Milton Daniels. He had to move out of the hall.
Police were given a name of a man who forcibly raped a woman, and you're telling me they just removed him from the hall. This is the
Listen,
story?
When it comes to conviction, are there other things that are needed? Proof,
Yes.
exceptional things, and in the state.
That's a big one. Will we not agree on that?
Yeah, obviously.
Proof is important.
Obviously.
Okay.
And so, when it comes to the practicalness of this event, it is like we talked about the culture. So I'm talking. I going back to the example because they were Greek. They were pledges of rapists.
Okay.
And you want to know what his brothers did when they found out about this?
I'm guessing something bad.
Correct, yeah. They did not go up to her and apologize and say, you know, he's a bad egg, so-and-so, Greek fraternity, enter Greek words, does not back this, we do not represent this. No, they harassed her. They said, do not ruin this kid's life for one dumb mistake. He was intoxicated, he was this, he wasn't thinking straight.
Sure.
He thought you were cute. Okay? That's what they did, and that's why it's systemic. I was a part of a fraternity here. I left because 2 members were put on our version of our internal Supreme Court. They were given chance after chance after chance. They were in positions of power within the TCU community, to where they were subject to incoming freshmen. They were subject to other girls, and they used that power in ways where they ended up harassing these girls, sexually assaulting these girls.
That's
and
terrible.
Within their fraternity, they were given chance after chance after chance until they just became maybe inactive. Or they just did not. They were not big enough. They were not a part of the fraternity.
Yeah, there's details omitted from the story that he's saying, because a lot of these people, bro, if you let them tell it, like, the way to make everything sound like an evil empire, and it really don't be that way. Along the line, there's choices that are made that should have been made a different way, or details that are left out, or things that are exaggerated. It's like, bro, not in this day and era, the amount of situations that go exactly how he's describing, where no one does nothing, be for real, bro. Nobody's gonna do anything. We're no, especially if you're in a populated place. I'm not going for it.
Enough to where they shed badness in the light, and that's why I left.
Can I ask a question?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
because you went, you kind of, I think we both acknowledge you jumped from a few topics there, so I'd like to kind of zone in a couple, and then hopefully we can move forward. So you mentioned that this man raped her. The school knew about it. The police knew about it. He was simply moved to another house, simply moved to another dorm. Then you said that the Greek house knew about it and basically was encouraging, and they harassed her, right? Okay. Do you have any proof?
Eyewitness account, and that's probably one of the reasons why it wasn't like there was no GoPros everywhere. You know, that's how it happens.
Okay, but if somebody get raped, they do a DNA kit analysis. That's why if that happens to you, you need to go as soon as that shit happens. You know what I'm saying? You need to go as soon as it happens. You know, it's hard, you know, because you feel violated. You feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably can't even begin to describe how that would feel. But you got to go ASAP. Otherwise, what's going to happen? The longer it take, the longer... It's like with a murder, bro. If somebody murder your dog and then you sit there and cry about it, you can cry. But if you don't act quick, the longer it's going to take, bro. The longer it's going to take to catch that dude. And the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to catch the motherfucker, bro. That's just the reality of it. Because life don't care about how you feel, bro. No matter how you feel, you got to thug it through. Take care of that shit. And cry after. Or during. Or cry while you're getting shit done. You can still cry, but just don't cry and do nothing.
That's how it happened.
We just said proof was really important. So any proof of... You just gave this whole example to paint a picture of white male privilege on campus and this rape culture. Any proof?
And...
No.
Proof I believe her. And...
Okay.
Believe all women.
There was... You know, she lost her virginity. There was stains. You know, there's blood. I'm sure if she wanted to call the FBI, make a big deal to have her name and face painted everywhere, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yet there isn't the existence of DNA proof.
Okay. So here's my point. We have to find some common ground and agree on some premises here. So no proof there that you would be able to present that anyone has presented.
You may be going in the direction of assuming that she wasn't raped, and I would strongly advise you don't do that.
Well, I'll take it under advisement. But I do have.
What the fuck he gonna do? Look at him posting. I strongly advise that, bitch. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do, bitch? Now you trying me. Now maybe I'll lose my professionalism because now you trying me. What you posting up like you big, puffing your chest out? What you finna do, white boy?
Proof that there's not a rape culture on campus.
You have proof there's no
Yeah,
rape
the statistic
culture.
is not a 1 in 5 rape. According to the FBI, it's 1 in over 1,800.
Okay.
There's not a rape culture on.
Dang, even I was even close. Niggas said 1,800. I said 1 in 1,000. Niggas said 1 in 1,800. That's 1,800. That's crazy.
Campus in the United States, these rapes do not occur without consequence when there's proof presented. The constant is not men getting away with rape. I'm certainly not convinced of that. I'm not convinced by your account. It sounds like a harrowing account. I feel horrible that had occurred. So you think I feel good about that?
I don't say
But
you
my
feel
point
good,
is-
I say don't give a f. I'm saying
Well,
you're
then
here-
listen, you can ascribe motive
you're
all you
here
want,
to
but
be
I do have proof.
controversial to get some laughs from some people.
Laughs. What? That's the thing, like, bro. You're not even listening. You just acting stuff emotion. Talking about you trying to get some laughs, nigga. They talking,
To
bro.
put other people down.
Who came
all
in and
you're
insulted
doing- all
somebody?
you're doing
Who
is
came in here and
pushing out.
insulted someone? The only person who's insulted anyone all day here, all day, is you. You came in cussing and yelling and swearing.
No, because I'm pissed.
I get
This is
it.
serious.
I get
when
it.
you say
This
there's no
is
f***ing rape culture and you have a proof of that, you say you don't have the
I
statistics.
do have proof and there is no
Wait,
rape
if
culture.
If you're a girl, you don't got to go out. You don't want to put out say, hey, I was raped. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to be raped if you're a girl.
Obviously, we were talking about the statistics.
No, but you said you don't want to. You don't want to go for
1
it.
in 5%.
Yeah, there is no rape culture in the United States campus. I don't agree. And the statistics don't reflect that. So if you had proof,
Statistics are you reading?
the statistics of according to the FBI.
12% of women and 12% of men are raped on college campuses.
Incorrect.
This is the biggest research university, Columbia University statistics.
I would love for you to come and sit down when you have the microphone,
why she
and I would
going?
love to talk about that with you.
Where's she at?
Now you see, this is why. This is not me being rude. Same thing. I gave
you
Chantal.
Where's she
Chanel.
at?
Sorry, Chanel. I apologize. See, she's not going to give me guff for it. She sees it was an easy mistake. I wanted her to have her opportunity to speak. I don't necessarily agree with her, but I would say it was very respectful. You were cussing, yelling, coming
Okay,
in
this is not
a
about
little
cussing.
bit emotional, and I want you to have your opportunity to speak as well. And so it's disrespectful for her to yell out. We're having a conversation between
I disagree.
two people.
This is not about cement. This is not about being like we're not in a parliamentary system
It's
where
a-
you're not allowed
What?
to interrupt and shit like that. This is important.
You're actually allowed
I
to
want
interrupt
ev-
in a parliamentary system. You're talking to someone who comes from
my
Canada. We have a
God,
parliamentary
shut
system. Shut the fuck up with facts.
the
Thank you very
fuck
much.
up, yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Ugh, that nigga soft as hell, boy. Ugh. That's the thing. Like, people don't know how to talk about shit at all. People don't know how to talk about shit that they don't agree with. People don't know how to just. I don't know, bro. Like, this is weird shit. It's weird. There's something in the water, bro. Stop eating fast food. Hey, man, hope y'all enjoyed the video. That was a quick little reaction. You know, nothing too crazy. But we finna be back with 10 times more content than what I was putting out previously, okay? I'm talking kind of low because people still sleeping in the crib. But, hey, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe out there.